I once had to threaten a trespasser with calling police while her 6-year-old kid stood right next to her. And that's not even the worst. We had people breaking our fence, getting inside our property, and later on calling police on us. Imagine moving into your new home in a rural area, miles away from any large city, hoping for a nice and quiet life, just to have people trying to trespass on your property almost daily, like it's some kind of public park open for everyone. Which is exactly what happened to us. And today I'm going to share with you 2 crazy life stories and how we managed to stop all the trespassing madness. People were coming daily, sometimes twice a day, with their 4-wheelers trying to get in. There is a fence right over here, which you cannot see right now because of all the snow, but people actually broke it in order to be able to get inside. Which, by the way, right behind our property. You can even see the house right from here. Back then, I had a big plans for having farm and animals, so I was having none of it. So I started to going out and telling people that it is private property and they cannot sneak behind my backyard and go inside. Most people were respectful and would leave right away. Some would leave just to come back later on, and I would know because I would see the same person and I would see the same vehicle. And for those repeat offenders, I had a dirty trick up my sleeves to make them leave and never come back, which I will touch later on in the video. Then I decided to put no trespass signs. Went to Home Depot, got a bunch of them, placed every 100 feet on the fence, and you could not miss them even if you wanted. That seemed to reduce the traffic, but we still had some who would come and just not care. Until one day I go to talk to the next trespasser, and it is a woman with her 6-year-old kid. By the time I reached them and everything happened right over here, she already had her 4-wheelers down, it was running, and she was ready to go in. I come over and I basically tell her, listen, it's private property that's right behind my backyard. You can actually see my house from here. You cannot go inside. But instead of being respectful or just talking to me nicely, she starts raising her voice, starts arguing with me, telling me that she's been coming here all the time, never had a problem. Nobody ever told her anything, and since she already made it here today, she will go inside no matter what. I repeat myself, telling her no, that's not gonna happen. We continue to argue until she realizes I'm not budging. So she tries to be nice and tells me, well, I'm already here, please let me in this one last time. And to be honest, seeing the kid over there probably wanting to have fun, in any other situation I would probably say yes, okay, go, just make sure it's less time. But because she acted the way she acted, I just stuck to my line and said to her, no, it's not going to happen. And at some point, as we argue, I realize that the whole situation is not normal. She is arguing, she is raising voice, she is getting angrier. And if later on I will have to call the police on her, then it will be situation he said, she said. And she can claim anything she wants. She maybe can even say that I threatened her or something crazy like that. So I decide to cut it short. I tell her, you are not getting inside today, no matter what. And if you do, I will make sure to call the police on you and you will get arrested right in front of your kid. If that's what you want for him, then go ahead. I pull out my iPhone, take a picture of her, take a picture of number plate for the 4-wheeler and of her vehicle, turn around and walk away. I get to my driveway, stop, and start watching her to see what she's going to do. Luckily, she decided to leave. Now, if she would trespass, would I call the police? The answer is absolutely yes. Would they actually come here in Ontario, Canada? The answer is absolutely not. What would likely happen is I would need to file a complaint, provide them with all the pictures and information I had, and later on she would get a visit from them. So there was zero chance of her actually being arrested in front of her kid. But I was so frustrated with the situation and her behavior, how she raised the voice, argued with me and everything, that at the moment I just used the strongest emotional trigger I could find to make her leave. I hope that explains the situation. After that I went with her, and I swear to you, I don't know if there's some kind of Facebook group or some kind of other social place where people share best places to ride, but we saw a huge decrease in people coming over and trying to cross into our property. Life got so much better. But we still had people coming over. Finally managed to pull my truck out of the driveway. Got stuck on the ice again. What a mess. Took almost 2 hours. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Some time goes by. Then one day, it's nice, beautiful, sunny day. I'm working on something inside the barn. The dogs are outside. When I suddenly hear my dogs barking and chasing somebody. I rush outside and see 2 people on a 4-wheeler flying full speed across my property, and behind them my 2 large German shepherds chasing them and barking. I start yelling at dogs to come back, but of course they're in the rush of the moment and are not listening to me. And the whole scene disappears into bushes. Eventually my dogs come back, but I never see those people coming back. And at this point I am really stressed. I am stressed that maybe my dogs beat somebody. I am stressed that maybe something happened to people. I am stressed to what going to happen. And I know for a fact that the situation is not over yet. And sure enough, the very same day, a police vehicle arrives to my house. Initially, when I saw the vehicle, my heart sank down and I was like, I'm in trouble. But when I saw only one person coming out of the vehicle, I was like, okay, if he is alone, he is not here probably to arrest me or take my dogs away or anything like that. He is probably here to get the story straight. He comes over, says hi, asks for my name, and tells me they got a complaint that my dogs chased somebody. And I told him everything. I showed him the broken fence. Right beside the no trespassing sign, I showed him the wheel marks and told him that I was inside the barn working, my dogs were outside, those people crossed inside my property and dogs started to chasing them. Imagine my surprise when after hearing my story, he told me that because it happened on my property, on my private property, then neither me nor my dogs are in trouble. But he was like, make sure it never happens on a public road, because then we're gonna have a different conversation. We spoke for a couple more minutes, and before leaving, he told me to make sure my dogs are registered. Told me that he's going to check it in about a week of time, and if not, I'm gonna get fined $300. And he left. After that event, once again, I don't know if there's some kind of social group on a Facebook or somewhere else, or maybe just rumor spread around that there's some crazy guy living on that property and it's better not to come there and not to try ride it. Either way, after that event, we would rarely see any trespassers coming over. We still get people up to this day who come over, but nowadays they just go on the other side of the road, which is property belonging to a mining company, which, to be honest, I don't really care. So if you get people trespassing on your land and you care enough to stop it, just realize those people come to have fun. And if you cause them enough trouble, then it's worth it, then they will stop coming. So, threaten them with calling police. Do everything you can. But, and it's very important, keep everything legal. And don't be like me. Make sure you record on your phone every conversation you have with those people so you don't run into a situation, he said, she said, like it almost happened to me with that lady with the kid. That being said, there will be some people who even after all the trouble you caused them will still come back. And for those people, as I mentioned, I had a dirty trick up my sleeves. If I had a situation and I would see the person second time, and it's kind of hard because after the first conversation, they realize they should not be there, so they become more sneaky. But if I would have a chance to talk to the person once again, I would basically not accuse them, but suggest that maybe they are not there to ride and have fun on my land, but rather they are looking to do something else. I would be like, put yourself in my place. You have a person with whom you already spoke, but they still keep to try and get behind your backyard. What would you think if you were in my place? And I would always make sure I grab a picture of the number plate of themselves and be like, I'm not saying that you're a bad person because I just don't know you, but just in case if something goes missing. And usually that would make people not to come back, because it is one thing to have a conversation, let's say with the police, about trespassing, and it's another thing to have the same conversation but being a suspect of stealing something. And that is my conclusion for this video. Just cause enough trouble to not make it worse for the people, and stand your ground and stand for your rights. If you like that video and would like to see more of my upcoming videos, please make sure to subscribe, click like, and leave a comment down below. I would really appreciate it. And we will talk soon again.